What is up, awesome peeps? Brent McCluskey here with Electrified Reviews, and today we are reviewing the Nanrobot D6 Plus folding electric scooter. This thing is one of the coolest electric scooters we have tested so far. In fact, we are awarding it the 2020 e-scooter of the year. We're gonna dive into the specs on this bad boy, but first, let's roll the B-roll. All right, awesome peeps. So again, this is the Nanrobot D6 Plus folding electric scooter right here. And like we said here in the intro, this thing is, we are giving it the 2020 e-scooter of the year just because this thing is just a boss in every single category. It is just about perfect. It's truly a capable off-road scooter, and it's truly a 40 mile per hour speed demon when you're on the pavement. I mean, this thing can just handle whatever you throw at it. It is a really, really good scooter, and that's why we're giving it the 2020 e-scooter of the year. And of course, we'll dive into the specs and you'll see why as we talk about it. But to start, this thing has a starting price of $16.99 USD, $1,699 USD. That's for the base model, which is going to be pretty similar to the model that we have here. The only real difference between the base model and the upgrade is the hydraulic brakes versus mechanical brakes. And for the $16.99 price, you're gonna get mechanical disc brakes. Other than that, it'll be exactly the same. If you do want hydraulic disc brakes, which honestly I would probably recommend, just go ahead and, you know, drop in an extra Benjamin, just because the hydraulic brakes in this are so powerful and so effective. And because it is so fast, I think you do want that, and you do need that extra stopping power. But $16.99, it does come with a 1-year comprehensive warranty. If you do want an extended 2-year warranty, you can get that again for another $100. So it's another, you know, another Benjamin tacked onto the price right there. You can also get a seat that you can put onto the deck there, so you can actually sit down and ride it like a moped if you want to do that. But again, it's like another, I think $69 or $100, something like that, if you do want to get that accessory as well. So if you want to get like the max version of this thing, everything decked out, the extra accessories, it's going to run you about $2 grand. But again, the starting price $16.99, which is really, really good for this scooter. So let's dive into the specs here on this thing. We'll start with the motors. We're going to have one motor in the back right there, one motor in the front. So it's gonna be a dual drive folding electric scooter. Each motor is gonna be 1,000 watts of power. And I don't know if that's gonna be nominal watts or peak wattage, but I will tell you that the power on this is absolutely phenomenal. The way the power rolls on is so smooth, and it feels powerful throughout the entire band, you know? So it doesn't feel like it's super torquey at the low end and then kind of winds out. This thing, it pulls and it just keeps pulling and keeps accelerating until it gets to that top speed of 40 miles per hour. And the acceleration curve is just spot on. Really, really happy with how this thing accelerates. It doesn't feel too powerful off the line. It doesn't feel like you're gonna break traction. And it also doesn't feel like it's losing power towards the top end, which you can get sometimes with these, you know, higher speed 40 mile per hour electric scooters. It's my hand doing quotes over there. But yeah, these two motors here, one in the front, one in the back, it brings this scooter up to a top speed of 40 miles per hour, which is incredible. And it really does, it's a true 40 mile per hour e-scooter. Even with me, I weigh about 185 pounds. I'm carrying about, I'm carrying a lot of gear, probably like 30 pounds in that backpack, something like that. So what is that, like 215 pounds or whatever? And even with all that weight, it easily gets up to that top speed of 40 miles per hour. So it's really impressive what these motors can do. And because the motors are in the wheels, it's gonna keep that center of gravity really, really low. So this thing feels really stable. It just really clings to the ground. The battery also is very low to the ground. It's gonna be inside the deck here. 52 volt system, 26 amp hour battery for a max estimated range of about 40 miles. Again, that's the max estimated range, and that's under ideal conditions. So If you're driving this thing really slow, you're not going through hills, no headwind and stuff like that, yeah, you can easily get 40 miles out of this thing. Now, we have put about 300 miles or so. We've tested this thing for about 300 miles. We've really tested this thing pretty much to its limits. And during our test, we did do some range tests. And what I found when riding this thing with the throttle just pegged the entire time, so literally just drawing as much energy as I can the entire time out of this thing, I still got 20 miles plus out of a single charge, which is really, really, really good. I was really impressed with that. And again, because the battery is located in this deck here, center of gravity is very, very low, very well balanced, very stable scooter. You know, sometimes you'll see the batteries will be in the stem, which is cool because it can keep the deck nice and thin, but it does raise the center of gravity. So it's not really my preferred way to, you know, to put the batteries. I think it's better to keep it in the deck here like Nanrobot has done. So, you know, good job. Kudos to them. You'll see here, this is a full suspension ride, and you'll see the suspension is already kind of muddy. Again, we have tested this thing quite a bit. Rear spring suspension, it is adjustable. Front spring suspension, also adjustable. And the suspension on this ride is really, really good. I was really impressed with it. We reviewed the D4 Plus a while back, and that had like kind of quad spring suspension, but they were much smaller springs, and it was really just kind of like from smoothing out bumps and stuff. But this suspension is actually meant to like take some hits. So like, you know, going like high speed over like little roots and stuff like this, no problem. Hitting jumps with this thing, you can actually get like a couple feet of air with this, no problem. It doesn't even bottom out. The suspension is really strong. It's really capable, and it really makes this thing a very good off-road machine. You can single track with it. You can take it down trails like this, no problem. You can even go trailblazing, man. You can go out, you know, out into the boons, whatever you want, and just about anything you can throw at this, it can take. So it's really, really nice suspension setup here. There is also a headlight here in the front. Not even gonna bother turning it on because you can't really tell how bright it is on the camera, but the headlight here is, you know, it's decently bright. It's not overly powerful. I don't know, it's kind of in the middle. You can illuminate your path with this thing, but not super well. If you really want to ride this thing at night, you're going to want to get an aftermarket light. That's just kind of, I feel like that's almost always the case. You almost always want a brighter aftermarket light. Rarely do these companies throw on like a really bright, like 2,000 lumen, 4,000 lumen light. And maybe that's because it draws too much power from the battery. I don't really know, but all that to say, yes, this light will increase visibility. Can you ride this thing at night with this light? Sure, but you're gonna want to go slower. It just doesn't throw off that much light. So it folds right here. See that little circular piece? You can unscrew that, and you'll see it bites right here into the stem, and that's how it keeps this thing secured. So it's actually a very stable stem. The handlebars do not feel wobbly. They do not feel like they're gonna fold. They feel very strong. This is actually pretty good. I mean, it looks like it's a basic locking mechanism, but it's actually functionally really good. The only thing I don't like about this is because it's cylindrical, it can be difficult to unscrew this after a while because it kind of self-tightens as you ride, and it can be difficult to unscrew it. So maybe one critique I have is, I think on future models, there needs to be knurling on the sides here so you can get a better grip and unscrew that a little bit easier. What I had to do, I mean, I have like decent grip strength, but what I had to do here this morning to get this thing unscrewed after about 300 miles, I had to put some tape on it to get some more traction so I could actually turn this thing. So one little critique, not a big deal. And going back to the brakes on this, it does have disc brakes. And again, the base model will have mechanical brakes, and the upgraded will have hydraulic disc brakes. And the hydraulic disc brakes are they're really, really high quality, very well tuned, nice little small, cute little rotors here, but it offers plenty of stopping power. Front disc brake, rear disc brake. And what's cool about this is, yes, these brakes offer tons of stopping power. However, it also has electronic regenerative braking. Whenever you depress the brake levers just a little bit, if you tap on them, it activates the regen braking, which is really, really powerful. Throws energy back into the battery and also saves the physical brake. So you can use, the electronic braking is so strong on this scooter, you can use it 9 times out of 10 to slow you down. Only in the most extreme instances do you actually have to use the disc brakes. So You can adjust how powerful you want that e-braking to be, by the way. It can be 0, which is off, 1 or 2. I think this is on 1, and it's really powerful. The deck on this is nice and wide, plenty of room for your feet. This little back piece right here is incredibly sturdy. You can kind of put your foot back there, like your heel, and rest it, and it kind of keeps it really stable. It allows you to use your leg kind of as its own suspension. So that's kind of what you want to do. Is you want to put like one foot in the back right there, and then your other foot kind of straight forward, you know, right up on the side if you're depending if you're goofy or regular footed, whatever, you know. Deck is nice and wide. The frame is going to be 6061 aluminum alloy, 77 pounds, so it's definitely heavy. It's not a light scooter. So just something to keep in mind. Can you fold it up and bring it in your car? Absolutely, but it might be kind of heavy for some folks to lift, so just keep that in mind. 77 pounds, that's heavy, but 2 powerful motors, a big old battery. I mean, I don't expect anything less. Up here on the display, or the handlebars, I guess, we've got quite a few different things here. So you can, first of all, it is key operated, so you do have to have these keys in and turned on in order to use this scooter. So if you don't have the keys, if you lose them, you're out of luck. So make sure not to lose these right here. Right here is the lights. You can turn them on and off just with the flick of a switch. That's kind of nice. It also has a horn. Oh, wait, gotta turn it on. All right, also has a horn. Not super loud, but loud enough to let people know you're coming. That's actually, I think it's actually pretty good volume right here. It has blinkers. I mean, those are kind of pointless in my opinion. They're cool that it has it. Can you see it? Yes, you can see that it's blinking, but I just don't feel like cars are gonna recognize what that means, you know? So if you use a blinker, I would just say, don't assume that people are gonna know that you're turning. Like, still definitely check and just be careful, but it's cool that it does have it. I like that. Turn those off. Right here is gonna be a voltage meter, this bad boy right here. This is awesome because it gives you a real-time indication of how much juice, exactly how much juice you have left in volts. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is, I mean, probably on screen you can even see, even in the shade, it's not very easy to read. You really have to shade this thing to get a good view of it. It's very dim, and that is something that needs to be, I think, upgraded on this scooter. Is just a brighter display here for the voltmeter. And over here on the right-hand side, we'll go to display here in just 1 second, but we have a couple of knobs over here. This is to activate single or dual drive, so you can activate 1 motor, or you can activate 2 motors. You can have eco mode, or you can have turbo mode. I pretty much always keep it in dual turbo unless I'm just really trying to save battery. You can do single eco. And that's going back to that, you know, that max estimated range. You know, how far can you really go? It depends. How do you want to ride it? You know, do you want to put it in the single mode and ride kind of really chill? Yeah, man, 40 miles, you can easily hit that on this scooter. Now, going to the display. Very sweet display. I actually like this display. Again, the only issue I have with this is gonna be the fact that it's not very easy to see in direct sunlight. This display is also a little dim, and I would love to see a brighter screen on future models of this. But that being said, on the display we have what gear or mode you're in. It has 1, 2, and 3, so you can press the mode button, 1, 2, and 3. That's just another way to control how much juice you're getting from the motor. Here in the middle we have the current speed, time, how long it's been on, and if you tap the power button here, it'll switch to tripometer, and then odometer. 250 miles is how much we got on. I thought it was more than that, but 250 miles is what we have on the odometer here. Hit it again, and it goes back to the voltage, so you can read the voltage here, or you can read it on this side. So either way, hit it one more time. Where is it? And it goes just back to the time here. This is the throttle. It's a trigger throttle. It's actually really nice. I've adjusted this quite a bit to get it to feel right. Out of the box, I wasn't really pleased with the positioning of the throttle and the brakes, so I kind of switched this up a little bit. But it feels really good. You can keep, you know, almost your entire hand wrapped on the handlebar here and then use the throttle to get going. So you maintain a lot of stability like that. Now also, what's cool about having the hydraulic brakes here compared to the mechanical is the hydraulic brake levers are adjustable. So you can bring these in, or you can let them out depending on just where you want to position them. And I actually did that on this scooter here. I really brought these in quite a bit because stock, these brake levers were like all the way out here, and to reach them I had to like really adjust my hand. So now, let me see if you can see it from, you probably can't see it from that way, but now, like, it's just right there, and it's like, it's easy for me to reach, you know? So you can adjust the brake levers, that's kind of cool. So really my only critiques on this scooter is gonna be, like we talked about, the displays, and then just add some knurling, you know, on the stem there to fold it. I'll go ahead and fold it for you guys just really quick, just so you can see how easy it is to fold. Boom, let's back it up just a little bit. So like I was saying, to fold this, it's simply unscrew. Oh man, is it already locked in? Ugh. There's just no way, man. Yeah, so that's honestly what I was saying. And I'm not like the strongest guy in the world, but yeah, like it's just locked, man. And that's a good thing. You want it to stay super tight. Like you do not want this thing coming undone while you ride, but there needs to be a way to get a better grip purchase on this super round, thin thing. It's hard to grab that, you know? So other than that though, honestly guys, this scooter is freaking perfect. 2020 e-scooter of the year. It's just a fantastic vehicle, very well made, high quality. We have beat this thing up. We have taken it off jumps. We've taken it on a bunch of single tracks, really tested the suspension. Nothing's come loose, nothing is broken. So we've been really impressed with it. And yeah, I think now it's time to take this bad boy out for a test ride. So here we go.
There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. When the sunrise, when the sun we're trying to
awesome peeps, that is pretty much it for the review of the Nanrobot D6 Plus folding electric scooter right here. In summary, again, this thing starts for $1,699 USD, $1,699 USD. That is for the base model, which is pretty much the same thing as you see here. The only difference is, like we talked about, another $100 for the hydraulic brakes, $100 for the seat, and then if you want the extended warranty, it's another $100 there. So the price, like we talked about, it can jump up to around $2,000 if you want to get all of the extra accessories, which really you don't need to do for this scooter. But like we talked about in the beginning here, this scooter we awarded the 2020 e-scooter of the year just because it is superb in literally every single area. This scooter is an all-around monster, and this is going to fit for really anybody who wants anything to do with an e-scooter that is not like, you know, just like a kid's toy riding around the neighborhood. This thing can do it all. I mean, like we talked about, it can really go off-road. I mean, the suspension on this stuff, on this scooter, it's really capable. You can do jumps on this, you can go single track, or you can just blitz 40 miles per hour, you know, hauling butt down pavement. You got that big battery, the 26 amp hour battery, 52 volt system, 40-mile max range. Like we talked about, that minimum real world range, even with the throttle hammered the entire time, as fast as you can go, you're still gonna get at least 20 miles out of this thing, which is just incredible. So honestly, it's just a really good scooter. It's very well made. We put almost 300 miles on this thing during the testing, so we really tested the heck out of this scooter, and honestly, it's just pretty much perfect in almost every single way. So it's really a hard one to pass up. If you are looking for a scooter that can do pretty much anything, and if you've got enough money to spend $1,699 for the starting price, I mean, this is one you really want to look at, really research, and because honestly, it's a 2020 e-scooter of the year. I mean, what more can I say? This thing is just a boss. So awesome peeps, that is it for the review of the Nanrobot D6 Plus Ford electric scooter. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.